All right, ladies and gentlemen, so you have your gliders built, and today you're going to fly your gliders and take some data on how they fly. We're looking for, will they fly straight and far? So look on your launch log for the page that looks like this. I'm going to go to my launch log. For me, it's slide 8 and 9. Notice on slide 8, I have Bet's name, and that's because I have a couple students who are going to help demonstrate how this works today. So Bet is going to fly first. She's going to fly glider 1, and then Elizabeth is going to fly glider 2. And if you look at this page, let me make it a little bit larger for you to see. You can see we're going to look for distance. How many feet and inches did it fly? And then take some notes on how it flew. By notes, what we're looking at is, did it float? Did it nosedive? Did it spiral or stall? Did it go straight? Did it turn left? Or did it turn right? Remember, if it is spiraling or turning left and right, then we have a problem with our wings. If it is nosediving or stalling, your problem is likely with your stabilizers. So that will give you some tips on changes you need to make to your glider. All right, so here's what we're going to do. I'm going to switch to video now so that you can see. We have our airfield set up. So you can see here I have 2 airports. Notice our launch is rubber bands. And then you see we have a measuring tape. Let's go this way so you can read it properly. Okay, just like before when we flew our paper airplanes, if we find the black number that's closest to our plane, and then we count the red. So if my plane lands here, then it would be 1 foot 6 inches. So that's how I'm going to take my measurements. Here's my friends Bet and Elizabeth. Bet's going to go first. She's going to fly her plane. Because she is flying first, Bet is only going to worry about the measurements. She's going to fly her plane and then go down and see how far it flies. Elizabeth, notice she has the computer. Elizabeth is in charge of watching the plane fly, and she's going to decide, did it go straight? Did it turn? Did it spiral? So she's really paying attention to the direction the plane flies. And then Elizabeth is going to type those notes into the computer. Okay, so I'm going to get behind here. Bet, go ahead and hook your plane onto the rubber band on that dotted line in the middle. And you probably want to hold it in the back. Okay, that way your hand doesn't hit it. And pull back to the green line. Okay, and then you are going to launch your plane whenever you get it to the green line. You can let go and launch it. Okay, and go out then and measure, see how far it went. So we can see her plane made it to about right here, would you say? So 5 foot 9 inches. So you'll give those numbers to Elizabeth. 5 foot, get your plane. 5 foot 9 inches. Elizabeth is now typing into the computer in the blue space, 5 foot 9 inches. And then Elizabeth watched the plane fly. So she's going to add some notes into her computer. What would you say, Elizabeth? How did it fly? It did a nosedive. It just dove right into the ground, didn't it? So type in nosedive. And remember, if it does a nosedive, then we have a stabilizer problem. So Bet now knows that when she goes back to fix her plane, she wants to look at that back part, the stabilizer. She needs to figure out how to fix that so her plane doesn't nosedive next time. Now they're going to trade jobs. Elizabeth is going to fly her plane, and Bet is going to be at the computer. So you're going to hold it in the back so your hand doesn't hit it when it flies. Actually, I'm going to come back here so we can watch it fly. Okay, and she's pulled it back to the green line. Go ahead and let it go. Oh, and it just flipped right over, didn't it? That's not in our notes, a flip over. So, but you can just type flipped over. All right, which is kind of like a nosedive, but even more. All right, head out there, Elizabeth, measure. Look for the black number and then the red number. Okay. Don't move the plane. You want to go to the furthest point. So go to as far as it went. Do you see the far wing? See this wing? So you'll trace the furthest point over. So you are 3 feet, 11 inches. So tell your partner 3 feet, 11 inches and grab your plane and move off the airfield. And then they are typing in their notes, 3 feet, 11 inches. Notice she switched pages, so she's typing on Elizabeth's page now. Okay, and now that their notes are typed in, they're going to head back to their seat. So let's go back to table 7. Okay, they're going to head back to their seat. And at their seat, they have their tray of materials. They have their clips and their paper clips. You will not use binder clips today. There should be no binder clips used today. And I know your paper clips get kind of tied up, so work on untangling those. But now they have to decide, how are they going to fix these? This plane flipped over, just did kind of a head over heels. That means there's a problem with the stabilizer. So now Elizabeth has choices. She can move the stabilizer, probably maybe move it down here into the side of the plane or move it toward the front of the plane, or she can maybe move it forward or move it to the back of the plane. So she could move the stabilizer, or she could add some weight to the stabilizer by adding paper clips. So maybe if she thinks if she adds some weight back here, it won't be so heavy. She could put something on her stabilizer, but she's going to make a change. And then she's going to go to her slide. So go to Elizabeth's slide. I'm going to show you Elizabeth's slide here. Okay. So there's Bets. Here's Elizabeth. All right. And down here where it says changes made. So what we did was we added paper clips to the stabilizer. And that way she's going to see if adding weight to the stabilizer will help it fly better. Now she's going to go get back in line after Bet has changed her plane to see if it flies better. If it does, she knows she's on the right track. If it doesn't, then she's going to fix something else. Now Bet, let's go to Bet's slide. Hers did a nosedive. Well, since hers did a nosedive, we know the problem is still that stabilizer. So Bet could do something with her stabilizer. Let's take a look at her plane. So her stabilizer was in the middle. What could we do to that? Bet, we could move the stabilizer to the top of the tail or to the back of the tail, or we could add weight to the stabilizer as well. It's nice and straight, so I don't think we need to add any tape. But Bet's going to make a change to her stabilizer. Then she will type that on her page, and then she will be ready to go back and test. You may not get back in line to test again until you have your evidence of what change you made on that slide. Okay, you will have 4 chances to test your plane. So you're going to make 3 changes to your plane. By the end of our class, we want to look for the planes that are flying the furthest. We want to take a good look at those and see what shapes of wings and stabilizers did they use and what types of things did they add to them to help them fly far and straight. If you need some help thinking about what types of changes you want to make, you can look at the orange box to the left over here. It gives you some ideas on things that you could change for your plane. Okay, if you have any questions, just ask one of the teachers. Enjoy test flying your planes.